Hello, this is Dr. Martina, online sex therapist and sex educator. I want to introduce you to three movies that are currently out or are coming out in the very near future, and they all have the same topic, and that is sexual misconduct. They have been born out of the Me Too movement that started 5 years ago, and I want to take a closer look at them and hopefully start a discussion with you to see what you think that we can do about this situation that we have with sexual misconduct. Okay, the first one I want to talk about is She Said. It has been out for a couple of weeks. It came and left, at least here on Maui. I can't find it anymore. Peacock's going to pick it up, and hopefully Netflix, so more people get to see it. It's about the Harvey Weinstein case, one of the most powerful men in Hollywood, and in the movie you will see that they had a really hard time getting the women together, and they actually just needed, in order for New York Times to write about this 5 years ago, they just needed one person, and one actress finally did show up with her name and everything, and she went on record, and then afterwards 87 women came up with accusations of his behavior. And it was hard for me to watch. I was really numb actually by the time I left. I was angry, and then I was cheerful because he is in jail. Angry because a lot of the situations I'm personally familiar with, and it was a tough one to watch, but it launched the platform for the Me Too movement. So please go and see it and tell me what you think about it. So the second movie is called Tar, and it's a fictional story about a conductor, a famous, powerful conductor that hires young female assistants, beautiful female assistants, and beautiful female musicians. And ultimately, the conductor has sex with them, sleeps with them, and then discards them when he's done with them, discards them cruelly, and badmouths them in the industry so they can't find work. So that's obviously a story that is familiar to what's going on in the real world. Now, the one thing I didn't like about this movie, so bothered me, is that they made the conductor female. So they sidestepped completely and ignored the gender dynamics that usually are at the root of sexual harassment cases in the workplace. But what the movie did do, to be fair, it did put a spotlight, they did show the power imbalance, and so it did put a spotlight on the fact that if power gets unchecked or remains unchecked, that it becomes a cesspool. And that it's not enough that the abuser changes their sexual misconduct, but the system behind it, that the system behind the abuser changes. The third movie is called Women Talking, and it is a movie about a true story that happened in the year 2000, somewhere around 2000, in a religious colony, and where the men were sexually abusing the women of the colony. And how 8 women of these Mennonite women got together afterwards and locked themselves up in a barn and talked about what they were going to do about this sexual misconduct that was going on. I have not seen this movie. It's coming out December 23rd. I'm looking forward to go and see it. Frances McDormand is in it, and I just want to hear what these women did do with the sexual misconduct that was going on. Right there, under their noses, in the name of, under the blanket of religion. So these are these 3 movies that I wanted to talk to you about it, and I wanted to tell you about. And I very much encourage your comment if you've seen any of them. Even if it takes a while for you to see them, please write me, tell me what you think, because I strongly believe that we need to, the heterosexual male needs to evolve, and so the sexual misconduct that a heterosexual male is doing these days and has been doing can change. And the thing is, we need to change the system behind the abuser. We need to, not get all wrapped up into the power of these men and to protect them, because it's going on in the universities with the athletic departments. It's happening as I am filming this. So I would love to hear from you what you think.